And Coach Barnes after the game, and I told him I hope he wins the league. That's okay for Auburn coach to say, because he's got a bad game at the end of the year. I guess Saturday against Alabama. We scored 84 points on the road, playing for a championship. That ought to be enough to win. Our defense definitely let us down. And obviously Dalton was terrific, and he was really hard to stop 1-1. He made a lot of tough shots, a lot of shots that were contested. Probably disappointed in two things. One, when he went downhill, I thought there were times when we could have offered more resistance, more help off the ball. We didn't. And then I thought Siegler getting downhill against us was a huge factor. Jedi Broom did everything he possibly could offensively, and we had some pretty good balance. Again, you score 84 points in here, you should be able to win.
All right, questions? Raise your hand, please. In the back there.
You mentioned connectability to go one-on-one. When a guy like that is as hot as he is the best course of action to let him go one-on-one and just try to make it tough, or send a double like you did a few times?
I mean, we sent a double a couple times. We got a turnover. We sent a double, and one time we passed out of it and they got a dunk. I think that felt like we had guys that could guard him, and when Tennessee wins, they typically win when everybody contributes, right? And tonight he sort of dispelled that.
Gentleman in the right back.
Coach, if you had to pick now, would you say Dalton Knecht is SEC Player of the Year?
What I've always done and what I've always believed in is I've voted for the best player on the best team. So if Dalton Knecht wins the league, Tennessee wins the league, he'll get my vote for sure. If Alabama won the league, I'm going to vote for Mark Sears. I typically just have always voted for the best player on the best team.
All right, Ferguson in the purple hoodie.
Bruce, you talked about the defense. Offense, though, no shots in the last, no field goals in the last few minutes. Did you see anything different from your guys on offense, or what Tennessee was doing on defense? Kind of slow you down. Y'all had a really good second half.
Say it again. The last what?
The last 2:53, you didn't have a field goal, but you guys had a really good second half on offense. Did anything change from what you saw down the stretch?
I think you've asked and answered it. I mean, I didn't think our last 2 minutes offense cost us the game. I mean, I'll go back and look at it. I think they fouled us a bunch, right? So if we're shooting free throws, I mean, we might have taken one bad shot the last 2 minutes of the game. I thought we got good looks.
Bruce, you've been saying this time of year, wanted guys to make shots away from home. They shoot better than 40% from three again in this game. I guess, what did you see from them shooting on the outside and really just overall to score 84 on Tennessee?
I mean, we made 9, right? We shot 40%. I mean, we scored 84 points. I can't really, I can't really fault our offense. I just can't. We did turn the ball over too much. We definitely turning it over too much. And, to have, 20 assists on 27 buckets. It's pretty good. It's pretty good basketball.
What went well during that stretch where you guys go from down 9 to up 8 in like 7 games? What's working?
Well, we got some stops. Dalton was at that point. Dalton hadn't just caught fire, and we were. They weren't turning us over, so we were getting really good looks, and I kind of thought that was going to be the way the game would continue. I just liked the way we were playing, but I don't know what the score was, but I think his getting hot was about the time when we may have had our biggest lead, right? I think. So, again, hey, at the end of the day, what you're going to do is just tip your hat. Just tip your hat.
Two more questions, gentlemen in the front.
Bruce, you're obviously very familiar with the history of Tennessee basketball. What Dalton is doing, where does that kind of stand out to you over the course of this program?
Well, with his size and the versatility there, and I just can't think of anybody quite like him, right? But just like anything, like what we're trying to do at Auburn is like, if they win the league, if they advance in the tournament, he'll have a chance to go down as one of the all-time greats. It's at the end of the day, he knows that as a great individual. If this team can make a run, then he'll be talking about it for a long time.
All right, AP and then Ferguson with the last question.
Coach, what made Broom so effective tonight?
He's a handful down there. I mean, he's a handful. He got fouled. He got fouled every time we threw it to him, and he's a confident player, and I trust him. And he's clearly one of the best players in the league. He's one of the best centers in the country.
Bruce, Jalen was, you said game time decision, you get 21 minutes from it, no turnovers, a great line for him. Just how important was it for him to have a game like this in that return?
Yeah, we thought that, in other words, we were looking at 10 days to 2 weeks, right? So this was the 10-day window right here, or it was. So he practiced this week, and he looked pretty good, and he was ready to go. We didn't start him. My guess was I thought he'd play about 15 minutes, but we're playing for a championship, and he was playing well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce.